everyone, and welcome to the Houston Element Podcast. My name is Missy, and I'm your host. And today, unfortunately, one of our guests couldn't make it today because of unforeseen emergencies, but, we will ask Mr. Mark Twain to join us again. We hope all is well and good. But we do have two lovely ladies from Houston's finest collection here with us today, recording and performing artists. First, we have Kristen, and we also have Just Ryanne.
Hi.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
We're good.
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to be here, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful, wonderful. So can you guys tell me a little bit about yourself, please?
Yes.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. So I'm a singer, songwriter, and dancer performer, recording artist, and I'm just really passionate about music. So I'm taking it on and making it my career, and I hope I can get some great people to listen along with me.
Okay, and my name is Kristen. I'm with Who Dat Recordz. I'm a rapper, and I also sing as well. I'm a dancer, I'm a performer, and I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. So
wonderful, wonderful. And we appreciate you having you guys on, man. You know what I'm saying? Female musician represent.
yes, always.
Yes.
Gotta represent.
Yes,
For real.
yes. So can y'all tell me how you got involved in music in the first place?
Yes, we actually come from like a really musically inclined family, so we've always been introduced to it. And we just, as we've gotten older, we've just had to like stray in our different ways and just see what we're good at and what we're better at and what we can and can't do. And yeah, so we've been doing this as long as we can remember, so.
Excellent.
Yeah. Pretty much there. I mean, we grew up together, so our parents were in a band. We have two older sisters. They sing. We always do like little family put together shows, but yeah, it's just second nature at this point, so.
Excellent, excellent. So you were born with the rhythm and the soul, honey. Yes.
Blessed with it.
That's fantastic. Wonderful. And so how long have you been working with Who Dat Recordz?
Since like December, I want to say. December of like last year. She got to meet him first before me. You want to explain that? Didn't you meet him first?
Tadell?
Uh-huh.
I didn't meet him first. I didn't meet him before y'all did.
Oh, I did.
Y'all met him first, and then yeah.
I did. My older sister had met him, and then she introduced me to him. I was actually going to school in California as an acting major. And I always knew, like, I do love acting and stuff, but I always knew, like, I pick music over acting any day. And I saw the opportunity, and I sprung for it. And here I am. A couple months later.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I mean, that's crazy how those chances just happen.
They just happen, and you got to take them when they come.
Yeah. So were y'all like performing and then they just scouted you and you were like, oh man, here it goes.
So I think our older sister actually, there was a producer that she met when she had like a club appearance thing, and I think they knew each other, and so they talked about everything, heard our music, and we all just kind of was like, okay, let's just go in and do this. Like, let's try, let's see what happens. So that's how it went.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Wonderful, man. And so how has your experience been working with that recording studio thus far?
Oh, it's been really good. Big shout out to Tadell, big shout out to Who Dat Recordz, because I think as artists, it's really important to be comfortable in what you're doing and be comfortable like with the people that you work with, because as you can see, like, and as you see all the time, like, being in the industry is not easy. And like, I feel like that's something that we're just like waiting to dive into, but it's like, we know it's not going to be easy.
A lot of
and,
people.
Like, yeah, so many people, and like to be able to work with someone that cares about what we want to and cares about how we feel and how we are, and we know how he works, he knows how we work. It's just such a big like blessing, because like people don't get that. People get signed to labels, tossed around, thrown around all the time. So it's been a great experience.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah, because I mean, all you're trying to do is just make art, man, not be controlled.
Exactly. Someone gets it. Someone gets it, because that's genuinely true. And it's just like to be able to have that and to be able to just like, hey, talk to my CEO, talk to this and that. Like, it's a good experience. So.
Wonderful. So they have a very personal touch, and relationship, not just treating you just like a number. They treat you like an individual
person,
artist.
A real person. Like,
that's also one of the things we had stressed. Like, I had stressed to him was like, look, just as long as I'm going to be able to, like, wear what I want to wear, put out the kind of music I want to put out, basically be me, because, like, that's the message I want to portray is, like, myself. Like, I want to work with you and I'll be good, and we're blessed enough to, like, be able to have him to let us be ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing, because I mean, when the fans meet you and things like that, you know, they know that there's a stage presence kind of thing, but they want to meet a real person.
Yes, and we get to do that, and it's not just, and that just takes away from it, because without being able to do that, it just doesn't feel fun. It wouldn't feel fun. It wouldn't feel like something you'd want to do.
Yeah,
being forced to.
Of course. And so, what is your workflow like when it comes to recording and performing live?
Okay. Do you want to do it, or you want me to do it?
I'll go first with mine, because I think I'll be like pretty different with our workflows.
So opposite. So opposite.
Yeah, for me, like for performing live workflow.
Workflow live or for recording? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so for recording, I definitely like isolation. You know, all I need is pen and paper and the beat, pen and paper and the instrument, or like my iPhone notes. I always got to go there to write something down, but it's always good for me to be like one-on-one with just the beat and myself, because I can just sit and dissect everything I need to. And then once I'm done with everything, I'm going to go and get like outside references as far as like writing and recording. But performing, I can be like with people, I can keep going and going. And if someone doesn't tell me to stop, I'm just going to go all day and all day, because I'm so passionate about that. So performing, I'm always good to go.
Excellent.
Yeah. And for me, as far as the writing part of it and the recording part of it goes, very much like to just have that moment to myself and not like be away from people, because I like to be able to like put myself in other people's shoes as well as myself. And so I got to be able to focus and be able to be like, okay, what would this person like? How would this sound if a crowd was yelling this at me? How would this be in this? And when it comes to my performing, ooh, that's eat or be eaten. Because like I just feel like the performance aspect of it is so different nowadays. So you have to get up there and just like, for me, it's just like, I gotta go. Like, it's just like, that's that moment when I just black out and I'm just like, I'm about to go in, perform, go.
Yeah, that high energy, man.
Yes.
Oh my God. Like, that's why they say music is a drug, because like we're literally feeding on the artist's energy and back and forth.
Yes, definitely.
Crazy.
So good. So you all have performed at many venues in and outside of Houston, including Lux Tavern, the Block Party event at Dewson Park, and South by Southwest Block Party in Austin. Yes. So how was your experience at those shows?
Those experiences were really fun. They were really they were our first few like things to actually do by ourselves. Like, as we said before, we came from like a musically inclined family. So growing up, we always did things together. It was always like, okay, you want to sing with your sisters, you want to sing with your dad, or do this and that, and blah, 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 blah. And so now it's just like to be able to get in front of different people and do it by yourself and like have the people interact with you. It's just like, it's so fun. Like anytime to get to perform is just like so fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's definitely a great time. Like Lux Tavern, we went, good energy. Everyone there was like great energy every time. The owner's great. And then like South by Southwest, that was actually my first performance like ever.
Wow.
And she killed it.
Wow.
You would have never thought.
It was weird because I didn't have like too crazy nerves, but I was just really eager because like first time, like I just want to do this already. And yeah, I loved it. I think I liked South by Southwest a lot. So.
That's an impressive for your first performance, getting in front of all those people. My goodness. Yeah. Oh, wow. And y'all were, the venue was like right there on 6th Street too. So.
Yeah, so it was just like a big, of people.
Oh my God. Yeah. Wow. Ooh, I'll give y'all props. I don't know if I can do it. So is there any time like when you've been at like a venue and, you have to make you say you have your certain ritual of like before performing things like that, but you have to make accommodations at certain venues because maybe the green room isn't as big as you hope for, or the event organizer wasn't as organized as you had hoped.
Yeah, I think that that can happen and will happen, but I feel like being an artist, that's when it's time to show like I'm built for this. Like I can do this, because like that's whenever you have to turn that like be an artist into mode. So it's like, yeah, you just gotta get in that drill and just go with the flow and go with what you can do at that point. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because in a live setting, it's sink or swim. It
is. It definitely is.
It's either gonna go right or wrong, and you got all these people in front of you that are just gonna remember it. So you better give your all.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's wonderful. And so, what venues have been your favorite to perform at thus far?
I think mine's gonna be South by Southwest. It was just so cool. So many different artists and just music everywhere. Like people literally just sitting with a speaker and like letting people just hand their music in to like perform, and just like music everywhere. It's just so great. So I think I definitely love South by Southwest the most.
Yeah.
I think mine's like it's such a strong between Lux Tavern and South by Southwest.
Yeah.
Can't put a differentiation.
Was there one that was like you liked the sound particularly better, or was it just like the energy overall that you enjoyed?
For me personally, because I like to look into things deeper, the South by Southwest would have been one for me just because of the fact that like it's hard being an artist and to see so many artists out there. Like, and we never seen nothing like that. Like to see the networking and the different artists just like getting out there doing what they were doing. I love that aspect of it. But like the Lux Tavern, like, it was just so live.
Great shows
yeah,
there.
It was just
great
live
shows.
and like just to be able to like get around and do it, like just step and like you were on like one stage. It's just like that
You
was
can't beat the club environment.
you
either.
can't.
The speakers,
You
bassing.
can't. Yeah, that was it's just fun.
So you definitely love and appreciate the intimate, environment when you're performing, because you can really get personal with your fans and into your performance.
I like to see how people like, are y'all feeling me or what do you feel like? I like to look at people and be like, what they look like there?
Yeah. Yeah, because at South by Southwest, it's great because you have so much coverage, you reach so many people, but there's so many people, it's hard to.
Yeah, it definitely is different.
A lot of different demographics walking by. Like some people will go by and be like, oh, that's cool, but back in my day, I didn't listen to that. And then someone will come by and be like, oh, yeah, I like that. So,
yeah.
That's wonderful. But, at festivals, that's a great opportunity to learn about new music, new artists.
It is. It really is.
Going to festivals is one of my favorite things. Because then I would have missed new artists, so it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes to writing music, what helps you get into the creative process?
For me, I think I take like the individuality of it. That's what you say, individuality.
Yeah.
But when I write things, they're very inspired and based off of like specific situations that I've gone through. Because I think like anyone can write like a love song and like, oh yeah, love. But like for me, like if I wanted to write a love song, I'd be like, oh, what about that one time when I stubbed my foot or something? And then I'd make like a stub foot love song or something. So definitely the individuality is what inspires me, because I just try to like make a message that I know I can portray good and well and give to people. And it's really just about like if they can also like it, rather than trying to reach out and be like, what will everyone like?
And for me, it's just take literally, like she said, because I feel like we've had like a very interesting life. Everything that's happened to us has been like very like, and it's to put it into music is just such a blessing, because I feel like nowadays people will do a song and it's like, what can go viral quick? What can like make me the most money? And it's like not about like what are these people gonna feel? So I feel like for me, it's just like trying to go and be like, you were this kid at this age, what would you want to hear? Like you were here at this point, what would you want to hear here? And what would you want to do here? Just doing that and just being real, basically, raw and real.
Yes, and and that's what we want. We need some more organic music in this place.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
So what sort of things do you guys do to maintain your health and your energy as artists? Because there's a lot going on, not just the performance and the recording part.
Yes. We literally sit in our living room, and if my mom, if you're watching this, she can literally tell you that we will stay on that TV, blasting that music and working out and dancing to that music and singing to that music all day long to keep these vocal cords and to keep everything where it's just like muscle memory at a point when when you get on stage, you're just like, oh, I was doing that at home. Let me just get it. So basically just repeatedly doing what you got to do and just staying like very active and working and doing things you need to do on go all the time. That's how you stay like in check.
And it really is a passion for us, because when you're doing like what like you're supposed to be doing at like work at home at your break time, like it's something we genuinely care about, because just doing the dancing and stuff that we'll do on stage at home, like that's just fun. And like it'll be fun either way at home or on the stage. So it's just like, hey, it's break time for me. I don't know what you call your break time, but for me, this is fun. I can just do whatever and don't got to worry about all these people watching me right now.
Right.
Yeah, when you enjoy what you do, you're constantly working.
Yes.
Even when you're on break, you're working.
Yes. And it feels good though. So it's like,
Yeah, because you guys are out there for doing hour-long sets, and no one thinks about, oh, well, they're vocalists. It's not like they're playing drums. No, they're using their whole body. Their whole body is that instrument.
Yeah.
And I feel like people just see like, they see what they see. They don't see like the behind it. It's just like, yeah, we see her performing, but like they don't see what like goes on behind it, what goes to get up here and do it. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and your overall health is very important, you know.
It is. It's definitely
Since working in the music industry, you all have had the opportunity to meet a variety of individuals and professionals. What sort of things do you do to protect yourselves as artists?
You can go first.
Basically, in this industry, you're gonna meet like a bunch of fake love everywhere. You never know like when and where to just let your guard down. So I think knowing yourself and having your set spot with God and knowing what you like, you really have to know yourself in order to do this. In order to protect yourself overall, you need to figure yourself out and figure out who really, really rocks with you, because oh my God, I feel like there's so much fake love that you just can't go. You cannot, like, you got to constantly be on the lookout when you're dealing with this type of stuff. So,
yeah, I agree also. Like, it's crappy as it sounds. You do have to, like, have a wall up to just know you got to put yourself first. Like, for me, I'm always going to, like, have my close family, my close bestie. She's my best friend. So, as long as I got her, I'm really good. But that's definitely just keep your close people who you always know and who you know you can always trust close to you. And as much as nice and goody as everyone is to you, like, it's not always real. So you got to be careful about people.
Careful.
So you kind of have to play detective half the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you do. You never know. Like, the world's crazy, especially when I feel like when it comes to this, just being in an industry, anything, like with acting, like doing music, anything, like all sorts of stuff. Like, people will really like see you doing good and want to come for you. And you really have to be able to know like who and who doesn't really mess with you.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and staying actively fit. Don't you come around with that tomfoolery.
Actively fit,
okay?
too.
Don't you come with that tomfoolery, okay? Jackie Chan isn't the only one in the entertainment field.
Never.
And so what do you think is the most unique quality about your music and your presence as artist?
Ooh. I mean, I guess myself, really, because like that's all my music is and all my performance will ever be is me. And, you know, obviously you're going to be inspired by like everything and you're taking in all these genres that, you know, all these inspirations to you have done before. But it's like, instead of doing what they did with it and making more music, I would just do with what I would want to do with it and give out what I genuinely love. And hopefully like all the good energy and all the goodness I put in it and what I love will like, you know, also spread the vibes to everyone else. And yeah, so pretty much myself.
I feel like realness. I know you hear that word all the time, but like it's such a like true word to throw around because like to say, because it's just like the realness of it. I know for a fact, like being a person that's like literally in the industry, like you know how like social media is literally it now. So you see like all you see is like what's trending, what's doing good here, what's in that. It's not even about like realness anymore. So I feel like when it comes to my music, I genuinely I want people to hear it now and hear it in the flesh and blood. Like I genuinely take the time to like think into other people's thoughts. Like I'm like, what would this what does it feel like to be in this situation? What does it feel like to be here and there? And I put that in my music. And it's like, if you want real and you want to hear real and you hear my music, then you should have a good time, because like it's just real. Like that's it.
Yeah, because I mean, rap music is poetry, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, you hear some of the coldest, most realest lies, or you listen to some rap music, like you don't have some Beethoven playing in the background to ease you on it. It's just straight punch in the throat. Like, yes. I live for that. Excellent. Yeah. And so most artists would like their music to reach as many fans as possible, naturally. But are there any specific kind of fans you really hope to reach with your music? For example, the younger generation or aspiring artist?
Let me go. You know.
Okay, I have like a two-way, because it obviously you want to reach the younger generation. The younger generation is gonna like, that's like a given. It's like that's who watches you really, because especially like backlighting off what I said about social media, like that's literally like these kids have tablets and phones at like 5 years old. So believe me, they're watching. So of course we like, I'd want to reach out to the younger generation, show them that it's okay. I've been there before and everything. But also on another level, just like a level when I get to where I want to go I feel like to go international and to get to a point to where like culturally other people like listening to me and like understanding my music and just like loving my music, to know that other people from like other places that I didn't grow up in can reach that demographic. Like, yes, sir. Like I really, that'd be something for me. So yeah.
And I agree 100%. Like, you know, you do have a younger generation and like that is gonna be like, what's up next? Who's at the top? So you gotta give them a good message. But so definitely younger generation, but at the same time, international, like that's really crazy because, you know, people with different morals and just different cultures they grew up in. And it's like the fact that, oh, wow, your message is like that good and like that truthful. There are these people who are like so far away who have completely different like mindsets and everything. Like they can listen with you and they can vibe with you. Like that'd be amazing. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's so powerful. Like the Rosetta Stone commercial gets me every single time when they're talking about, think about the conversations you can have. And I'm like, bro.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Like, do it through some music.
Yes, man. I mean, yeah, that's the real tea, man. And fortunately, even if you say like, you know, artists write their personal things, even if it's not your individual journey you've had, music is such a language, universal language that anybody can vibe with.
Yes, definitely.
And so do you have any new releases and or shows planned for the rest of this year?
Ooh, I mean, we're always constantly writing, so you can always expect a release from us. For me, never expect the same thing. That's all I'm gonna say. I always want to bring in diversity and different beats and just anything fun and crazy new I can try. So always expect something new and crazy from me.
Yes, and for me, I have a single called Nasty that will be dropping soon, as well as some other new projects that we're coming up with. And we're always going to be like revving up to perform. So yeah, be on the lookout.
Excellent. I can't wait. Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. It's been great.
It's been a pleasure having you guys on, and it's nice to meet you, meet new artists. I'm so ready to jam in my car. Yeah. Well, and thank you guys watching on Instagram Live. We appreciate you. And you need to follow Kristen at Official Kristen, and you need to follow Ryan at Just Ryanne on Instagram. And we're going to drop all the information where you can listen to their music and check out the next shows coming up. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.